do it. Let's do it. Hey, not 9 o'clock. All right. All right. Bye. Hello and good evening, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us. Let's see how I'm trying to keep up tonight. Deloach Lee, Selena Herbert, good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. There we go. Shonda Moss, good evening. Ty, hello. Thank you. Thank you for wishing me a happy belated birthday. Kenneth Wade, 9 p.m. What? I don't know what you mean. Hey, Howard Spiva, thank you for joining us. Thank you. Pepper Jones, thank you. Angie Vaney Duncan, thank you for joining us. Happy to see Lou Phelps. Thank you for joining us, Lou, as well. Glenda Jones, hello. Thank you for joining us. Karina Smith, hello. Tia, good evening to you. Patricia, good evening. Blessings to you as well. Linda, thank you for joining us. Faith, good to see you, Faith. I'm about to catch up with y'all. Natasha, I am doing well. Thank you for joining us. Cheryl, thank you for joining us. Linda Wilder Bryan, great alderwoman from the 3rd District. Great hanging out with you today. Thank you for joining us. So glad you're with us. Erica, hello. Michael, good to see you. Bernice Lohman, thank you for joining us this evening. Yvette Wright, hello. Latrell Morris, hello. Molly Lieberman, yes. Good to see you. Felicia, thank you. Tom, hello. Joanne, good to see you, Joanne. Shakita, good evening to you. Christy, where did I get my mask? I don't know, actually, it was sent to me. And really, this is the most important thing. Vote. Vote. I just want people to vote. Lou Phelps, circles under my eyes, get some rest. Ha! What is that? LaShonda, hello, thank you for joining us. Erica, thank you. Oh, Joe, I'll tell you about that in a minute. St. Nicholas, thank you for joining us. Lenora, hello. Hey, Sister Barbara Foster, thank you for joining us. Jasmine, thank you for joining us this evening. Patricia Richardson, I hope you're doing well, Pat. Marquila, thank you. God bless you too. Shakeem, thank you so much, Shakeem. I appreciate you. Michael, good Libra man, happy birthday to you on the 7th of October. Miss Angie Brown, hello, thank you. Lorraine Jackson, thank you for joining us. Pepper, thank you for a happy belated birthday. Esther, thank you so much for all you do. Ernesta, thank you. Tom, good to see you. Cassandra, hello. Thank you for joining us as well. Angel Brown Hutchison, thank you. Gloria Smith, hello. Bernie Jackson, yes, thank you. I am the 2020 Virtual Homecoming Marshal. I don't know what that means, but I'm it. So thank you. I guess, do I get to ride on a virtual car or something? Dawn, thank you so much. Wendy, thank you. Danielle, thank you for joining us. Angel, you're going to look for a romper room mirror for me? Thank you. Joe Griggs, you missed some. Hey, Joe, thank you for joining us even on your lunch break. That shows you are down with the cause. We thank you. Cynthia, hello. Sandra, hello. Lavetta Allen. And we have Nick Palumbo, the great alderman from the 4th District of the city of Savannah. Hey, Nick, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all the work that you do as well. And Sean says that Scala is with me. And so I haven't seen her, so she might be ready for college now. It'd be nice if I saw my child. Good to see you, Priscilla, Nicole, Rita, Karen, thank you for joining. Patricia, hello. Hey, Marty, all the way from Washington State, thank you for joining us as well. Linda shouts out to Nick. Rashida, thank you for joining us. Pat, thank you so much for your service. Diana Moore, hey Diana, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Sierra, hey Patrick Kelsey, thank you so much for joining us, sir. Terry Ann, thank you. Lorraine, thank you. Michelle, good evening, ma'am. Hey, Bishop Ronald B. Anderson Sr., thank you for joining me. Lisa, thank you. Philip, what up? Hello, Miss Maggie, Dr. Thomas Hart, and the Queen. Good evening, and even his sisters with us. Thank you so much for joining us as well. Alexa, thank you for joining us. Candy Wall is here. Hey, Candy and Cheryl. Thank you, Veronica, as well. Sean, all you gotta do is bring, you know where I'm at, bring Scala to come see me. It's just that simple. You know, give us some money, give us some clothes, and send on. We can hang out. I missed a whole bunch of people right here. Tammy, thank you for your service. Erica, thank you. It's a great Friday. Danielle, hello from Dallas. Thank you so much. Latavia, hello. Sharon, good evening. Steve, all right, from Naperville, Illinois. Wow, thank you. Hey, oh, that's the mayor. Now check this out. This is really cool. We have the mayor of Naperville, Illinois with us. One of my colleagues from the Harvard Bloomberg fellowship that we're all doing. So y'all show some love to the mayor of Naperville, Illinois. Y'all show him some love to Mayor Steve Chirico, I believe it's pronounced. So let's go ahead and give him some love, and let's welcome Mayor Steve all the way from Illinois. Welcome him to Savannah this evening, and we appreciate you, Mr. Mayor, for what you do. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Dr. Mark Bailey, good to see you, sir. And also Loto from Icons. She has my hair looking as good as it does. Thank you so much for joining us. Glad to have you here. And Sonia D. White, thank you for your service to our country. Good to see you, ma'am, as well. Hey, Bakara Malden. She is our new CAT director. And so we're glad to have you with us, Ms. Malden. I want to get you on a Friday night so we can talk about all things transportation. So you let me know. We'll get it hooked up. Let's see. What else? Hey, Barbara, thank you for joining us. Jasmine Lawrence, thank you. Hey, Etta, I'm going to respond to your message. I'm looking at some options for you as well. Lisa, thank you. Marcy, hello. Ray, I'll tell you about my birthday in a minute. Jeffrey, good to see you. Erica, hey. Terry Mobley, thank you for joining us. Hey, Angela, thank you for joining us as well. Just thank you. We had a meeting with Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, and we did a thing together. Sadie Campbell, thank you so much. Annette, thank you. Maggie, thank you for joining us. Hey, Jerv, Pastor T and Lady Ursula, thank you for joining us. Julia Carter, thank you. Mary, thank you for joining us. Danielle, thank you for joining us. Grace, thank you for joining us. Kimberly, thank you. I appreciate you and your comments earlier today. Danielle, thank you. Jessica, good to see you. Lynn, thank you so much. And Dawn Baker is on here, ladies and gentlemen, and Dawn Baker is still alive. Dawn Baker is doing great. I saw her last night, and she is in the phase 3 of the Moderna trials, and she looks fabulous. And you can see her for yourself. For those of y'all think that something is wrong with Dawn, you can see her at the news at 11 o'clock. So thank you very much. So let's go ahead and let's get started and kick this into gear. We got a lot to talk about, and we're glad to have Mayor Steve, and everybody shouting out to Mayor Steve. Good to see Katina Pollen on as she continues to elevate my life. Thank you so much for joining us as well. And we just appreciate it. We appreciate you being here. So let's get into it. It's Friday, and as I continue to elevate myself, hopefully you have your favorite beverage, as I have mine. If it's Friday in Savannah, if it's Friday in Savannah during the pandemic, if it's Friday in Savannah during the pandemic, and you don't have absolutely somewhere that you have to be, if it's Friday in Savannah during the pandemic and you don't have somewhere that you absolutely have to be and you're keeping the faith and following the signs, if it's Friday in Savannah during the pandemic and you don't have somewhere that you absolutely have to be and you're keeping the faith and following the signs, then that means you are here with me on Friday night, our weekly date night. I'm Van Johnson. Again, thank you so much for taking the time and spending the time as we get together and we end our weeks together. And I'll tell you that over the last well over 25 weeks, this has been an awesome experience for me on Friday nights to stay out of the streets, don't be anywhere I don't need to be, and just to be with a couple hundred of our closest friends from all over the country. Again, we have people from Washington State. Again, Mayor Steve from Naperville, Illinois. Thank you for joining us. And then members of our city council are here as well. Of course, Linda Wilder Bryan and her awesome self, and the phenomenal Nick Palumbo from the 4th District. So glad to have you and all of you to just join us to come and let us talk about the things we got to talk about. So a lot of things to talk about. And then I have another great special guest for us this evening. And so let's go ahead and let's get into it. So the first thing is this. Our thoughts and prayers are going out to those in the Gulf Coast. If you did not know, now Hurricane Delta is bearing down on areas, Lake Charles in Louisiana, that have been hit so many times already. Some of them have just gotten their lights back on, and yet they're being battered again. For those of us here in Savannah, those of us on the East Coast, we know how hard it is to evacuate in a very short period of time. We know how disruptive it is to our lives. Could you imagine some of these folks have evacuated 2, 3, and 4 times already in the last couple of months? So I want you, we know the words of prayer. I am asking you to please keep in mind, keep in your prayers those that are in the Gulf Coast, those that are being victimized again by a hyperactive weather season that just seems to stay in the Gulf right now. I want you to, keep them in your prayers. They're catching hell right now, and some of them had not even got their homes back together after the last storm, and now it's another storm. And so, please keep them in your prayers, and then let's find some ways to be able to help them. Okay, remember, love is an action word. So in Savannah, we show love, and we want to be able to do that. So let's keep them in our prayers. Certainly, I want to encourage you to like this page. If you have not liked this page, go ahead, take a moment, go to the page and click like, and then we want you to share the video. If you would do me that favor, please share the video. Great information out here for people that would want to know about things that are happening in our community. And then also the important guests and things that we'll have this evening. So please like this page, and then please share it with others. Thank you all. We talk about love. Thank you all. Last Saturday was my birthday, and I will tell you, I've just been absolutely blessed by the well wishes that I received from so many of you. I mean, I started trying to respond to every single one individually, and I will tell you that I must have responded to a couple of thousand, and I'm still nowhere near finished. So please, if I don't respond to you personally, please forgive me. I'm doing the best I can, but I will just tell you that it's just good to be in the land of the living. I know folks who were here last week that are not here anymore. So every day is a birthday. And so for those of you who are going through, or those of you who don't feel like you matter, I will tell you that you matter. Every day is a birthday. And if you have life and breath in your body, it's always an opportunity for you to be able to turn things around. Your situation can turn around. So thank you all for the love you showed me on my birthday. Again, I had a chance to see my mother and father briefly. And so this was probably the first birthday that I spent with them in probably well over 30 years. So I was appreciative of that. I had opportunity to come back to Savannah and spend some time with my village with my campaign team. And that was great because I had not seen many of them in months. So it was just a great day. At the end of the day, I was able to get out of the bed under my own power. I was able to know who I am and whose I am. And I was able to have a roof over my head and food to eat, and I had a car to drive, and I had clothes to put on my back, and my water was running. I consider myself a pretty blessed guy. So again, thank you all so much for that. Wanted to just update you all, as if you had not heard, we have tapped um, uh, our former city manager, Michael Brown, to come back and to be our interim city manager for some months until we can get us a permanent city manager. I think we hit the jackpot. Pat Monahan is a tough act to follow. Pat Monahan is an outstanding um, public servant, and with over 40 years of experience, we were able to get another professional with over 40 years of experience. Michael Brown has led the city of Savannah for 15 years as city manager and 9 years as an assistant city manager. So we're just excited about what does and what that means to us. I did not want to rush in getting a city manager. Getting a city manager is the most important decision that a city can make. And I wanted to get it right. And so if we couldn't all agree on a candidate, then I just say we take our time, as the song says, take your time and do it right. And we wanted to take our time and do it right. But Michael Brown will be coming on the beginning of November. And so we will have an opportunity to thank Mr. Monahan for all he has done for us. And then we'll have the opportunity also to welcome Michael Brown back to Team Savannah. So I wanted you to know about that. Moving on, let's talk a little bit about COVID. And again, we still have significant, what we considered a significant community spread. By no means is COVID over yet. And I know that, regardless of what you see downtown, and yes, downtown was lit last weekend. I mean, you would have thought that, everything was normal. But the facts of the matter is that things are not normal. We are still in a situation of significant community spread, and therefore it is important for us to make sure that we are being smart and acting smart. So let's go and look at the tail of the tape, so to speak. We'll start up at the top here in Georgia, and this is from the state's website. That we have 329,032 confirmed cases. We have 7,300 deaths in Georgia, 29,000 hospitalizations, and 5,400 ICU admissions. And then when you go down today in Georgia, we had 56 people die. 56 people died today because of coronavirus. So this is still a very significant community spread in our community, in our state. And so therefore we cannot take our foot off the gas as it relates to that. So that's where we are. This talks about testing. And of course, when we talk about the counties, we've held our own. Chatham County, at this point, going down here, we have 8,809 confirmed cases, which is 3,014.96 per 100,000 cases. We have a total of 173 deaths so far and 795 hospitalizations. 173 of our neighbors, our friends, have died from the coronavirus. And so this is still significant for us, and we need to continue to make sure that we are very, very clear about this. I know some people were tripping because we had not issued any permits for a while. Um, the veterans came to us and wanted to talk about ways of doing their 2020 Veterans Parade. I told them that it would depend on what our numbers said. If our numbers were better, perhaps. But I could not and I would not authorize a parade because a parade is where people gather. We have World War II veterans, we have Vietnam veterans, we have people with pre-existing conditions, and we know that if you have a parade where you have marching units, it's a dangerous situation. We know that our soldiers, people run out and kiss soldiers, and so they're out there, and it could easily become a super spreader event. And so, as far as I was concerned, until our numbers got better, I could not issue a parade permit. As I understand it, the Chatham County Veterans Council went out to Port Wentworth and they decided to have their parade there. I wish them the best of luck. Again, in Savannah, and for Savannah, we're going to keep the faith and we're going to follow the science. And so you don't have parades when you have significant community spread. You just don't do it. We see what happened at the White House, and I'm not going to be overly political, but let's be clear. For weeks, for months, the White House has touted and flagrantly disobeyed the advice of medical professionals. There were large events where people were not wearing masks. And now we're in a situation where a significant part of the president's inner circle, to include the president and the first lady, have coronavirus. You think about that. The most protected man in the world, the man that has the best health care in the world, in the most secure building in the world. Yet, coronavirus found its way to the president, to the first lady, and to a number of the president's inner circle and his team. And so that tells me if coronavirus can get around at the White House, then coronavirus certainly can get me here in Savannah, Georgia. And we're going to do everything we can. And again, we pray. We're happy that the president seemingly looks better. We're not sure about the first lady, but the fact was, if it can get to him, it can get to you. And you don't have the benefit of the same health care that the president has. And so we need to make very, very sure, make sure we're very, very plain about this. That at this point, we're still above 8 in community in positivity, 8% in positivity. New York, by comparison, is less than 1%. And they are talking about closing some areas in Brooklyn and Queens because they have risen from 1% to 3%. From 1% to 3%. Savannah, Chatham County is at 8%. And we won't move to phase 2 until we get to 6%. So let's not get it twisted. COVID-19 is still deadly. And so we want to make sure that you are very, very clear about that. Moving on, I want to talk a little bit. We've had some shootings this week. I've spent a considerable amount of time at a couple of crime scenes around our community where there have been shootings and things going on. And I spent some time at the hospital with families that have been victimized. And, at one end of it, we're fortunate that we have not had the violence that has occurred across the country. But on the other end of it, in Savannah, one incident of crime is really just too many. And so I'm calling on the village. I'm calling on parents to know who your kids are fooling up with. I want you to know, be very clear about who your child really is. And your child might be somebody in front of you. It might be somebody somewhere else. And so, we know these are young people out there doing it. We know that they are Black males doing it. And I'm telling mothers, if you love your sons like you say you do, and you know that they're in that life, love them enough to tell them to get out of it, or love them enough to call them in. because I know you would think that's unconscionable to ask a mother to turn in her son. But I would tell you that at least if he's in a prison cell, you'll get to see him again. If the police don't get them, the streets are showing that they are out trying to get people. And I want to make sure again that no other mother feels the pain that Linda Wilder Bryant felt when she had to bury her child. No other mother has to feel that type of pain. And so I'm going to need your help. I mean, we talk about defunding the police. No, we need the police. But I will tell you that we never depended on police to keep us safe. We depended on us to keep us safe. And so for our neighborhoods, and let's just start with your own house. And then let's talk about the houses on both sides of you and the one across the street from you. How can we find ways to be able to make sure that our community remains safe? And that it is, I want you, if you see something, I want you to say something. I need you to say something. Because the fact is, those bullets that you didn't say anything about, they have no name. Don't wait until you're the victim. Don't wait until your home is victimized or your safety is threatened to feel like you need to, say something. And I've seen it too many times. People, this needs to end. No, it needs to end before it happened to you. And so we want you to care about it because it's somebody else's child. It may not affect your house today, but it could affect your house tomorrow. So I need you all to be those strong citizen soldiers, to be able to assist us in making sure that criminal elements don't hang out in our community. I need your help with that. And so, information is out there for Silent Witness. We want you to make sure that you are helping us in doing that. So please, if you know something, say something. It is very important. I don't like going to crime scenes. I don't like going to hospitals with families waiting to see if it's a issue one way or another, whether somebody's going to live or they're going to die. To me, that's just it's one shooting is unacceptable. And as long as we're in a state where guns everywhere is okay, we're going to continue to have those things. But we can certainly make sure that because guns by themselves don't commit those crimes. Someone makes a decision to use a gun. And I want to make sure that we're helping our young people to make better decisions about how to deal with conflict, how to deal with issues as it relates to their friends or people they have beef with. My experience tells me that when people are shooting, particularly young men, it's either over women, money, or drugs. And to be honest with you, I don't know a woman that I would shoot somebody over except for my mama. Now, you mess with my mom, it might be a problem. Money can't get you another life, and you shouldn't be doing drugs or selling drugs anyway. So please, family, please, community, help us to do the best we can to help protect and take care of our community. This is the thing that we could all help in, and we're going to need your help to help us to continue to keep our community safe. To that end, last week, our CARES Task Force, which is the Citizens Accountability and Review of Emergency Services, released their report, their initial recommendations as it relates to their investigation, their review of the Savannah Police Department and its practices as it relates to use of force. Those recommendations are on my page. Feel free to take a look at them and weigh in. This is a citizens committee that I chose and the members of council chose to be able to look specifically at our police department as it relates to use of force. And so they have come forth with 12 recommendations on an interim, and then they will go back as they continue their work and they will come up with more. So, we thank the members of the task force for engaging in this very necessary work, and we're looking forward for more work as it comes out. So as you can tell, we've been really busy um, as we move forward. Um, I want to just remind you that the census is now. The census is now. My2020census.gov. And I hope and I pray that nobody on this show tonight, nobody, nobody can say that they did not do their census. If you did not, if I mean, and be honest, we don't, we're not mad at you. There's still time. If you're on here tonight and you did not do your census, I want you to take a moment and do your census now. My2020census.gov. My2020census.gov. It only took me 4 minutes for me and Debbie, everybody in my household. 4 minutes. My2020census.gov. Go ahead and let's get that done. Um, we this is important. We want to make sure that Savannah is counted appropriately so we can get our share of our federal funds as it relates to that. So my2020census.gov, and do me a favor tonight. Let's go ahead and get everybody to post that website on their page, my2020census.gov. And I'm asking you to ask all of your friends. And I know, people who join us on Friday night, you are people of power and influence and affluence. And so we want you to use your influence and your affluence to help us to get people to do their census. My2020census.gov is the number to call. So, is the email address. Website, my2020census.gov. My2020census.gov. I want to go ahead and want you to get that done. Moving on, we are Monday starts early voting here in Savannah, Chatham County. And so I got mine in the mail, my absentee ballot. Um, we are asking you, if at all possible, don't wait until election day. We don't know what might happen on election day. Um, you can request an absentee ballot that you can complete. You can mail it in, and if you're gonna mail it in way early, or you can um, you can take it to a secure drop box. In the city of Savannah, we have approved 4 drop boxes for the city, and we want to make sure that you are able to um, get that done because this is very important for us as it relates to the funds that we need for a variety of um, activities that we do as it relates to federal funds, as it relates to um, federal funds, as it relates to representation in Congress. Savannah, at one point, Savannah actually had 2 representatives to Congress. And we lost them because our numbers went down. And so um, we need you to go ahead and get that done. Go ahead and vote. We want you to be a part of this. We want you to be ahead of the game. And, just go ahead, do us a favor, and get it done. So if y'all can do that, we will be quite appreciative of you getting in front of this. And again, encourage people to vote. If you're 18 now, it's too late now to register to vote. That deadline expired on Monday. And so we want to make sure that you are um, engaged and that you're ready to participate and be a part of the process. I'm almost ready for my guests to come on. And um, let me see. All right. Hey, Tom, good to see you. And Sherry, Edie, good to see you as well. Uh, Clara, thank you for joining us as well. And I'm looking to see what's going on. Okay. So I'll go ahead and I will answer some questions momentarily, but I do want to uh, talk with our guest this evening. I have a very special guest. Um, as you know, this month I am doing a series called "I Refuse to Die," and because this is not only Domestic Violence Awareness Month, this is also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I wanted to be able to um, inspire you by bringing people to you who have stories to tell, and telling their stories and telling us to hopefully inspire someone out there that they are that they refuse to die. And so I wanted to first share a little bit about her story, and then we will go ahead and have her on um, to talk about. And I'm really fortunate to get her on because she's really hard to get. I mean, like for real hard to get. And you know, she's all over the place, and people are calling her name all over the place. So let me go ahead and cue us up about her story, and then we will talk to her.
4 years ago, I scared the hell out of cancer and it took both of my breasts and left. I'm thankful that it took my breasts and not my life. I didn't have any lumps, no symptoms, nothing to suggest that I had breast cancer. My focus was getting the cancer out of me so that I could live and just enjoy my life with my husband and my children. And I remember one night I got out of the shower and I put my hand over my breast and I just looked at myself and I was like, so if they were gone, I have everything else. There's really no difference, you know. There's no difference other than me not having any breasts. And I'm like, I still look beautiful. Having the cancer out of me, that had to happen. Getting more breasts, it didn't have to happen. There are people that are going to get diagnosed with cancer today. It's not fair that I don't try to do something to make somebody else have that same smile that I have. That would be selfish of me. And I just can't live like that. I got through it. I got over it. Now it's up to me to help somebody. I wrote down my experience with breast cancer, and after that, Bold and Breathless started. Bold and Breathless is a nonprofit organization geared to educate and inspire women, men, and children that have been affected by breast cancer. People reach out to me on social media or via email, and they just, ask, can you just tell me something to make me feel better or to help me get through this? I also travel and visit hospitals and hospice facilities and patients in their homes that I'm connected with. My joy is when people say, you've made a difference or you don't know how much you've helped me. That right there is is so rewarding. It's so rewarding.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. And again, we are excited. Let me get rid of this, the rest of this video. All right, there we are. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, we are so glad to have with us. And again, she's not easy to get because she's all over the place. She's everywhere doing everything. She is an inspiration. Her name is being called all over the world. Her foundation has been doing wonderful things in terms of inspiring people. Shonda Sabari, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Friday Night Live.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Now, I mean, it took a minute. They don't realize, I mean, that you're kind of this world-renowned motivational speaker. You're not easy to catch up with. Fortunately, I think I got a back channel that I was able to reach you. And again, I just really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to talk with us tonight. Are you there, or did you freeze up on me? I think you froze up on me. Hello? I think she froze up on me. All right, well, we're going to wait for you to come back to us. But let's see. Let's see if she comes back. Okay, she's out and she's back. There you go. All right, you're muted.
We're going to rebuke that devil on this Friday Night Live.
All right, you rebuke it. So, but I'm really glad to have you with us as we talk about our series, I Refuse to Die. And you're certainly proof of that, that you refuse to die. Before we get into that, though, because it always happens here, I assume that you are a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority.
Your assumption would be correct. However, let's say it correctly. I am a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Because the Deltas are on my timeline going crazy. So, they always do that. I mean, they sit there, yeah. And whenever a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority comes, then all of a sudden everything starts blowing up and there are hearts everywhere and stuff. So I knew I had a Delta on. But again, thank you for joining us. Tell us why you refuse to die.
Well, first of all, giving honor to my God, who is the reason for my authentic smile. And I say authentic because oftentimes people smile, but what you see is not always what you get. But I'm confirming this evening that complete joy is mine. God blessed me with a second chance at life. So I refuse to be depressed. I refuse to be down. It didn't have to be this way, but because he saw fit to give me a second chance, I've decided that every day of my life that I'm going to do everything that I can to be a blessing to somebody else who will hear those words, you have breast cancer. Because it's only right. It would be selfish of me, just like I said in the video, it would be selfish of me if every day when I wake up, I have a smile on my face and I don't do something to bring a smile to somebody else's face who may have been going through breast cancer. And I refuse to give up. I will always fight, not just for me and my health and my life, but for others so that I can help them get through what they're going through.
And so this journey started the foundation of Bold and the Breastless. You speak all over the country to women and men.
Yes, sir.
You talk to people in various stages. What's your message to them?
My message to them is to be positive. If you get a diagnosis of breast cancer, try to avoid toxic people. A lot of times when people get diagnosed with cancer, the first thing somebody likes to tell them is, oh, I know so-and-so who died of cancer. They had 2 months to live.
Know what? That's true though. That's true. And they don't tell you about the people who lived. They always tell you about the person that died. I didn't think about that.
But you know what? You know how to handle people when they come to you with that? You say, well, you know what? I hope you get your mammogram because I don't want you to die. That's what you say to them.
Ooh.
And it's not being mean or it's not being evil, but you throw it back at them in a positive way to encourage them to get their mammograms because you don't want anything to happen to them. Because what's the reason for them telling you, if you're telling them you just getting diagnosed with cancer, you don't want to hear about, the people that died and God bless the dead. Sometimes people like to say their battle was lost, but their battle wasn't lost. Their time on earth was up because we all have a time to live and we have a time to die.
Right. So, and so tell us a little bit about the foundation and the great work that you do.
So right now we're in the process of assisting breast cancer patients and breast cancer survivors who are unemployed. We're helping them with their utility bills, with their mortgage, and also just trying to uplift them for emotional support, just to be there for them. Sometimes, you have people who get diagnosed with breast cancer. They don't always know the questions to ask their doctors. Oftentimes I run into women who I'll say, what type of breast cancer were you diagnosed with? They don't know the type. They don't know the grade. They don't know the stages. So just educating them on the importance of knowing about their health and about their diagnosis.
And so we know that COVID has hit a lot of people real hard that have good health. And so for someone who is facing a diagnosis of breast cancer. And now you have a pandemic where if you're under certain types of chemotherapy, you can't really be around people. And so life becomes much, much harder for them.
Mm-hmm. It does. And what I would encourage those ladies and men who are in that situation where, you know, they can't really be out because they can't be exposed, try to find peace in your own home by doing something, a craft, a hobby, you know, calling and inspiring others, lifting them up who may be going through not just cancer, but who may have other health issues that they can't go out. So
Right.
just try positive to give back and to encourage other people.
Well, I wanted to be able to do something for the work that you do tonight. And we want everybody to go to, is it boldandbreastless.com?
www.boldandbreastless.com.
Bold and Breathless. Now, you decided that you wanted, when you got your diagnosis, you would basically like take them off.
That's right, chop them off.
And a lot of women, I guess, well, definitely women, would mistake that the breasts are part of femininity.
Mm-hmm.
And I see you strutting around in 8-inch heels. I mean, look, they're like almost stilts that you have going on. And you said you looked in the mirror one day and you looked at yourself and that you realized that your breasts weren't you.
That's right. Because it's one thing to have breasts. It's another thing to have a heart. And just as God looks into our hearts and he knows our heart, what good am I really to my husband if all I have to offer him was 2 A cups? You know, if my heart isn't in my marriage, if my heart isn't with him, what good would 2 A cups do? So it's not all about the physical appearance. Now, don't get me wrong. The breasts are missing, but everything else down below is sitting just right. So I like to say cancer took my breasts, but definitely not my sexy. Hold your head up, Mayor. Hold your head up. And my husband's right here.
Yeah, I know. Let me go ahead and let me just take a drink on that one. Because I see you, you know, you throw him up in random pictures and he looks like he's just like, this is just how she is. So he's just like, okay, hurry up, make it quick.
Nah.
And we want to thank him for his service to our country as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your support.
You have a Cash App, don't you?
Yes, sir. I do have Cash App. But the Cash App pretty much I don't use that for business purposes per se. PayPal, we have PayPal, Bold and Breastless, sir.
So what is your PayPal?
Bold and Breastless.
All right. So the website is www.boldandbreastless. The PayPal is Bold and Breastless. We're encouraging you. Obviously, she knows where the folks are that need help. They reach out to her. And so certainly if you want to be a blessing to somebody that's in need, her foundation is helping to make that happen. And again, she is a outstanding motivational speaker that speaks all over the country. And certainly you could book her for your next event. She's a little subdued right now. Maybe because it's Friday, but I just want to just thank you so much for refusing to die. And thank you for choosing to live, and then also using your journey to inspire so many people. Savannah certainly is not a stranger to you, and we're hoping to have you back here in our community soon.
And I appreciate the opportunity. And I just want to say, because I don't want this segment to be so much about me and my story, but to those that are listening, if you haven't had your mammograms, please go get a mammogram. If you know somebody that's dealing with breast cancer right now, call them up. Pray with them, talk with them, write them a note, a handwritten note, or send them a card. If you're able to, and if they're able to have company, spend some time with them if you can. But just try to do what you can to be a blessing to somebody else. And if somebody on here that's listening and you're going through breast cancer right now, don't give up. I know that there's a whole lot of craziness going on in the world right now, but I don't want you to get yourself in a dark place and stay there, because that's definitely not good for you. And if you need me, I'm here. Hit me up, boldandbreathless@gmail.com. I want to do everything I can to be a blessing to you.
And you have done that. Again, you give so much and give so freely of yourself. And again, I just appreciate that. And I wanted to make sure Savannah knew who you were and the magnificent things that you're doing. And I just appreciate you for sharing just a little bit of your time with us this evening.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me. Thank you for the wonderful things you're doing for the Seaport.
That's right. Represent Seaport. Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. And we're so glad you had her on with us this evening. And again, you can go to Bold and Breathless. You can go there, and certainly we want you to give her, if you have the opportunity to sew into what she's doing. And again, I want to make sure, again, we're inspiring people. If you're here with a diagnosis of cancer, it's not a death sentence. So we want you to live. We want you to live. We want you to live. We want you to refuse to die. We want you to live and not die. And so we're just so appreciative of Ashana coming out and hanging out with us for a little bit tonight. We'll do a couple of things. Let's see what's happening out here before we get off this evening. I appreciate the opportunity to be elevated tonight. Let's see what we got going on. Any questions I answer, I will certainly be able to try to answer whatever questions that you have for me this evening. Take these off because I can't see that one. See, Nicole, you are just getting on. Why are you late? Now you know that date night starts at 8:30. Now that's not good. Let's see who else we got on here. Yes, she definitely is a blessing to many folks. So yeah, somebody asked about the drop boxes. Let me go back. Lisa says minors are being photographed by the COVID patrol without the permission of the adult with them. Why are minors being photographed? I don't know what you're talking about. If you have somebody who want to make a complaint, then certainly send that to us. As I understand it, if you're in the public space, anybody can be photographed. It could be for surveillance purposes. I'm not sure. So if you have a specific question, specific time, specific place, send it to me and we'll see what's going on. I can't think of a reason why we will be photographing anybody, but send it to me and let's check it out and see what's going on. Drop boxes in the city of Savannah, the Savannah Civic Center, the Carver Village Community Center in the 1st District, the Liberty City Community Center in District 5, and the WW Law Community Center in District 2. And so we have 4 boxes out there to try to get people there. Of course, the Southwest Library has them, other locations on the islands. We tried to get something a little further out towards the Highlands, but we're unable to do that. Sandra Balls, you have a great testimony too. I'm gonna have to get you on to talk about it as well. Alex, what do I do if my district alderman is not properly responding to issues in my area? Myself and others have reached out via email and phone. What's our next step? Please help. Alex, send me, inbox me what the issue is and who the alderman is, and let's see what the deal is. I will tell you, I know for me, even when I was a district alderman, I received a bunch of emails and a bunch of calls. And so let's just see if we can help you get the response that you need. So we'll check that out. If it's Linda Wilder Bryan or Nick Palumbo, they're on here now. Oh, Terry. Terry says the cup is elevated. Well, fortunately, I have people, they didn't like my little blue cup and they didn't like my little water bottle. So I get these subtle suggestions from people who are choosing to elevate me and make me look better than I am. So different cup. And they didn't like my glasses. So thanks to Foresight and all of you, again, opportunities for me to see. So I appreciate you all. I tell you, I'm growing from this as much as you are. I mean, you know, my hair might grow back soon, so you never know. Thank you, Gwendolyn, for allowing us to talk about breast cancer, and thank you for joining us as well. Animal control, Joanne says animal control is a huge problem. We talked about that yesterday in City Council. The city does not do animal control. It is a county function. And I just know that we have a big county and we have a lot of animals, from animals that are just out hanging out. And, you know, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. And I wanted to make sure we know what is going on as it relates to that. So we're going to be having a discussion with the county animal control director to talk about the services that we're receiving in the city of Savannah. Terry, my readers are here. The problem is that here is fine. Where I'm reading is actually a little bit too far to be readers, which is why I'm taking them off. So that's the deal. So let's see. Thank you for clarifying those. Yes, we did approve. We did approve the water program. And so we're excited about that and what that will mean, because we will be able to provide insurance for our employees. Not insurance, sorry, insurance for our water customers. And we're excited about that because it's a great opportunity for us to be able to get those services from the house to the water line. Right now, we don't provide those types of services. So we're excited about that. So yes, we clarified that as well. But you have to have city water. Now, if you don't get a bill from the city of Savannah for your water, then you can't take advantage of it. Good to see Renee Grant and Lynette Williams. Thank you for joining us as well. Okay, well, see, Nicole, we need you to be here on time. We were looking for you. Don't let Chatham County convince council to adopt the animal control ordinance. It's not appropriate for the city areas. It includes several very questionable items that need addressing. We are working on this. Great. Carol, get it to us. None in District 6. Joanne, actually, I think the Southwest Library has one. And so I think that's it's not a city site. It's actually a county site, but it's in the city. So I think you go out there to the library out at Savannah Mall. Let's see, what else? I'm truly a blessing. Thank you, Cynthia. I appreciate you. Tammy, thank you so much as well. Alex, okay, good. Thank you for doing that. You said District 2. Yeah, we'll get on that. The Pooler, so Pooler, all right, check this out. Pooler City Hall drop box is coming next week. So, wow. So the city of Pooler finally agreed to put a drop box in Pooler so that my Highlands residents can get out there without coming to Garden City. Thank you, Sabrina German. We appreciate that, that information. Look at that, hot news, hot off the press. What else? Linda, thank you. LaDonna, good to see you, LaDonna. Cassandra says there's a drop box at Savannah State. That's correct, by the football stadium. But that is on state property, not on city property. Thank you, Janine, for the glasses comment. And Michelle, you were supposed to get a payment last week, still nothing. Is that from unemployment? If it is, inbox me. Let's see what we can do. Rather than question animal control, reach out to local rescue organizations. Well, I mean, Hannah, the issue is that animal control is charged, but our tax dollars to do this. The fact is, I mean, for us, animal control, that's what they're supposed to do. And so in having them to do that, you have to call the organization that is charged with by county policy to do this. So, I mean, animal rescues are not bad, but we want to make sure that animal control is doing the things that we need them to do within the city of Savannah. Katrina, who's calling me on Duo? Aha! That's grown folks' business. What else? When will the water program start? We just adopted it Thursday. I suspect it'll take about a little less than 30 days. What I will do is I will have the guy from the water program to come on Friday Night Live and talk to us about our brand new water program. Thank you. Angela, thank you. My birthday was great. Joanne, why are you late, Joanne? First is see Nicole, now you're late. I mean, come on now. We were waiting on you as well. So let's see. What else? Thank you, Adrian. Well, Terry, I did answer the call. I did not answer the call. And Paula is late too. Come on, Paula. We've been waiting on you. Zakisha, you went to Statesboro to put your brand up, so you stopped at the store, went in with your mask. People were looking at you like you, what was wrong with you? Well, you were in Statesboro. Hey, here in Savannah, we gonna follow the science. Glad you're back safely. Let's see. And again, no, see, Terry's actually older than me. It's just Terry don't look her age and she don't act her age, so she don't take them on and off. Marjorie Young was late too. Oh my gosh, Marjorie, we've been looking for you. Let's see. Hey, Miss Viola, good to see you. I appreciate you all. Again, great evening. We appreciate you all so much for joining us for our Friday date night. I want you to know how much it means to me that we're together, we're hanging together. You are awesome individuals, awesome people. Glad and blessed. I want you to know how much you lift me up, how much you keep me up. All's going on. And during these times, all we got is each other. You never know what hell somebody's going through. You just never know. And so for us, all we got is each other. So if we can carve out an hour and a half a week where we can just talk positivity and speak information, then I'm glad to be able to do it. I mean, I have several hundred of my closest friends that I get together with on Friday. And somebody had asked me to go and do something tonight. And I'm like, I got Friday date night. I can't do that. No, we ain't doing that. So as long as you're here for me, I'll be here for you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I want you to have a good night. Have a great and blessed weekend. Libras rule. God bless you all. Thanks so much. Good night.